Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Facebook Live show. I'm Mark Trowbridge with our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce. And well, when we're on the air, that must mean one thing. It's Tuesday, and I'm here with the incomparable Grant Miller from Miami's community newspapers. And that song you're hearing is from Fiddler on the Roof, Matchmaker, Matchmaker. Because today is National Matchmaker Day. And how many of you out there have ever tried to be a matchmaker? Maybe you set up a friend, a girlfriend, a buddy, been a wingman or a wingwoman. How many of you have brought people together and made a match? Well, if it's you, then today is your day.
What more important than matchmaker?
How is anything more important than that?
Matchmaker.
Make me a match.
It is National what?
It's also National Real Men Wear Pink Day.
Bam!
Oh.
Hold on. And pink's, oh wait.
Pretty good. The only thing pink there is your leg. It's a good looking hoof there. Yeah, tonight we'll be out at Well Groomed Gentlemen celebrating National Men Wear Pink Night.
Is it a chamber event?
It is not, but I am attending as a guest of Al Maulini and Rick Alberti, and so I want to thank them. They've hosted this event the last 5 years, and obviously they couldn't do it last year, but it's pretty cool to be there and celebrate.
All these men come in pink.
They do. I'm wearing sort of an off pink here and my burgundy jacket. So
I think that's close enough.
Pink socks. I'm ready to go.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yes. Oh, before we get into our agenda, I said also National Eat Outside Day, but that's not
and nothing's more important right now during this COVID surge than this COVID surge than still giving people an opportunity, even in the August heat, to eat outside. So thanks to all of our restaurants who have been the ultimate in pivots and added outdoor dining. The city of Coral Gables gave some great incentives and some relief. And that's going to continue through January of 2022. So we'll get through the fall and into the holiday season. And if folks still want to go out and aren't comfortable indoors or wearing a mask, outdoor seating will be perfect. But as much as you can wear your mask, folks, please do it. You'll notice the last couple of shows, we've had the glass back up here because of the surge. But I saw the numbers were down a little bit today, about 18,000.
How many?
About 18,000. We had been in the 25 to 28.
But that's in the state. But Dade County, the hospital is dropping quickly.
Yeah, I saw that on the news this morning that we're seeing a downward decline in terms of the number of hospitalizations, which is good because we were running out of beds, folks that needed to go to the hospital for other treatments. I just read a story that was absolutely it was harrowing about a guy who had basically his gallbladder needed to be taken out. And, there wasn't a bed in the ER of where his local hospital was. And so, he had already waited a day or two. And so his gallbladder was already pretty inflamed and pretty full of toxic fluids. And so the doctor literally was calling every hospital that they had air access to outside Houston to fly him. And they finally found one bed. And then the doctor called back. The ER doc said, nope, it's gone. And then they found another one. And so they got the helicopter prepared and got him on there. He was already septic. And by the time they got him to the other hospital, it was too late to even perform surgery and he passed away.
Wow.
So it's very important that you think about other people's health as much as your own and think about the fact that, people are still having medical issues and medical emergencies outside of COVID. And we just didn't have the beds for them. And so good to hear that number's coming down. Good for our frontline health workers, first responders, and our hospitals, many of whom are great chamber members of ours. Let's keep that trend downward. We had heard that we were at the peak over the last 10 days. A lot of that was a byproduct of July 4th and vacations and folks that were not vaccinated, 92 to 98% in the ERs not vaccinated. So we've seen an uptick in vaccinations and the testing is out of control again. With just trying to manage these lines. My niece and nephew are going to Turks and Caicos, so they had to go get tested. They are. It's for their anniversary.
What is this?
It's for their anniversary.
So what? They could bring you along.
I was just with them. Matter of fact, we were flying back, and the woman at the gate in Detroit called me a third wheel.
Wow.
It's kind of like a punch in the gut.
That's all right. Tommy,
Sorry.
make sure you do my phone and put any comments up. So let's
I love
talk.
that you're also doing stage direction with our great producer there.
Let's go over something. I want to know about your workout.
Yeah, so I just
Today
started
was
my
it. This-
fourth week of membership
And you
at,
can tell it. Your face is completely
at
changed.
Lifetime. And so, like, you know, I did the first week. We were together for the grand opening. I did the second week. Last week was the third week. Even when I was away for a couple of days at a family wedding, I took my workout clothes and worked out at the hotel. I would never do that, ever, ever. And then I was in my spin class yesterday to kick off the week. And tomorrow I have a new class called GTX that my trainer Omar is teaching. And so I'll be there at 6 a.m. to work out with him.
Wow. You know, I walk every morning.
Yeah.
And I walked this morning I walked to your place because I walked at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Because I had to be somewhere at 7. But I walked right up UM. I'll come by Lifetime.
Come by Lifetime. I'm up on the third floor. Unless I'm doing a cycle or spin class, I'm on the first floor.
So
I'm sure they'll let you in. Just say, Grant Miller here.
Okay. It's been 4 weeks. 6
This
weeks.
is the start of my fourth
Okay,
week.
it's 6 weeks of habit. Do you forget that you feel in better shape? How do you feel emotionally? Better, stronger?
You know, one of the biggest challenges I always had in terms of my weight and weight loss was that I was never uncomfortable being heavy. I mean, I could physically do anything I wanted to do. I never had an issue in terms of, you know, people want to hang out with you, people want to go out with you, people want to date you, people want to hire you. I never dealt with that. And yet people who are obese and as big as I am and was.
But how tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
I'm a tall guy.
And
thankfully.
What is your weight? Okay. How much weight have you gained? You know, you gain a pound a year after high school.
Oh, geez. Well, I've been out of high school for 35 years. And I've certainly gained more than 35 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. At my heaviest was probably when I first started at the chamber. I was like 475.
And now you weigh what?
I weigh about 315.
So you lost 160 pounds.
Well, in 2 tranches. So I lost a good amount of weight a number of years ago after I had a medical emergency after a trip to Brazil. And our good friends at Doctor's Hospital saved my life. And then, you know, you gained a little bit of that weight back. You know, probably in that time I lost about 100 pounds. So maybe I was down to about 375. And then I gained a little bit of that weight back because, you know, I wasn't working out and I just got, you know, fat and sassy. And then I was right around 400 when COVID hit. And now I'm down 85, 86
Yeah, but
pounds.
And, you know,
I have a ton of energy, but I've always been blessed with being high energy. But I will tell you that what my staff says is they hate it on the days when I work out early morning and come to work because, you know, now I've worked out. So like Monday, I did 25 minutes on the treadmill and then I did a 50-minute spin class. So I've been there an hour and a half. I get showered and come to the office and I'm like raring to go. And I'm starving because, you know,
God, it's brutal.
I have worked out hard. The cycle class is rough, man.
Like today, I had a good workout.
Yeah.
I walked and had a good workout. So in the middle of my day, I pull into deli lane, not for breakfast, for a brownie.
Yeah, it happens. But, you know, you're at least exercising. So, you know, you're not cheating on anything.
On the other days that you aren't working at Lifetime, you have a Peloton at your house.
I have a Peloton at my house.
Do you use it at all?
It's a little bit on hiatus at the moment because I'm doing all of this. So I'm working out 3 days, then 4 days, 3 days, then 4 days. This week is a 4-day week. So Monday, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And then I'm rewarding myself on the weeks where I work out 4 times. I reward myself with a massage on premise.
Okay, I have to tell you, I don't care what the person looks like. If they're in great shape or they're obese, I love when I see people on the road, walking, running, biking,
just do something.
the gym. You go, wow.
Do something. When I was up in
Ohio,
in Toledo, you know, we were staying at the Renaissance Hotel, and so, you know, we had a full day planned on that I guess that Friday. And so I got up at 6:45 and was down in the gym by 7. I just did the treadmill for about 45, 50 minutes. And then I was like, I'm good. Just want to get a little something in. And then that way you don't lose any momentum. So, you know, when I got back to Miami on Sunday, you know, I was packing my gym bag. I was taking stuff out of my suitcase, packing my gym bag. And then, you know, up at 5:45 and I'm there by 6:40, 6:30. So
That's
feels great.
and more power to you. And when you see people,
Well, and I keep referring people to them. So Gino's like, gosh, you're like our best evangelist, because almost every other day, someone's like, where are you working out? I want to go there. I did it yesterday. I was meeting with our PR team from Vine Communications, and she's like, I can tell it's working. Introduce me to somebody there. So I'm like, hey, Gino, this is Nikki. Nikki, this is Gino. He's like, thanks so much. He sees me there all the time because he works out. And I always say to myself, how lucky is he that part of his job is working out?
well,
Part of his job is working out, being out on the floor with his colleagues and the whole team.
I don't know about your weight, but your face, you look healthy. I know.
Well, I appreciate that. And, I'm motivated. One thing I did different than I think any other time is that, as much as people get annoyed, I'm sure, I talk nonstop about what I'm doing, because that creates accountability. That creates, a transparency to what your plan is. So I talk about it with you on here. We talk about it when we're together. I talk about it with friends. I mean, people notice.
So it keeps you motivated.
It does.
And it motivates other people.
The hardest thing I probably deal with is that I'm starting to get back to a little bit of a normalized chamber schedule. So, like, I'm going to events 3 nights this week.
Where?
That's very unusual.
3 nights? I don't know about.
Well, tonight I'm going to the Real Men Wear Pink. We already talked about that.
I can't go to that
Well-groomed gentlemen. Tomorrow we have a Wine Down Wednesday.
Wine, W-I-N-E?
W-I-N-D.
Sorry, Morgan.
And that's at Craft, which is a new restaurant on Giralda Plaza. And Thursday night I'm going to a meeting, the city of Miami Springs. The mayor has appointed me to the Economic Recovery Task Force. And so we're going to try to bring some new life to the businesses in downtown Miami Springs, which is where I live. Been a 16-year resident. And she asked me, and so she's got 3 appointments, and I'm the only resident of her 3 appointments, and I offered to serve. So
Miami Springs, we got to talk about it for a second. It is a great hidden secret. Has great history.
It does. I don't think people realize that it was founded the same year as the Gables, 1925, by a gentleman named Glenn Curtis. To this day, Glenn Curtis still holds more patents in the aviation industry than anybody. And he's the reason that the airport is where it is and the runways are where they are, because he was like, I'm living in Miami Springs, so I don't want the planes flying over my house at night. And so they run, if you hear an airplane low over your house, duck, because it's in the wrong spot. So
I love the history of Miami Springs. Glenn Curtis, great grandson, used to be a boxer and a horse trainer. He used to work in the city of South Miami for the fun of it.
Wow, I didn't know that. But he also put his mark on City of Hialeah and on Opelika. And each one of them had a little bit of a different flavor and architecture. If you go through Miami Springs and you see his old mansion or his house, it's in the Adobe style, Southwest. And there are still some homes left,
But
including
that's
my neighbor,
club, right? No,
has an Adobe house.
What is his old house?
It looks like the Alamo. His old house is now a event space. They restored it over a number of years. Curtis Mansion. That's a little bit. That's on the other side of Curtis Parkway from where I live.
So you just came back from Ohio.
I did.
You didn't go to Detroit. You went to Ohio.
Well, I flew to Detroit. So we flew American Airlines out of Miami on Wednesday evening. We landed in Detroit around 2:30 a.m. My niece, who works for Marriott, had gotten us a room at the airport hotel right there on the property, so we could just go from the airport terminal.
Friends and benefits, or whatever it's called.
Friends and family. Okay. There are no benefits. I think that might be a little overstepping my bounds. So we stayed there.
And you drove down?
And then we got up. She had an early call. My nephew and I got to sleep in a little bit. And then we checked out and we headed to the rental car place. And, she's a seasoned traveler. So, she's got all the.
But why?
Everything
she had an appointment in Detroit. That's why you went.
She had a phone appointment. So she was on that from like 7 till 9.
How far a drive is it?
From Detroit to Toledo, it's about an hour 20. We stopped and had breakfast in Ann Arbor. And we drove through the University of Michigan campus because I had not done that since I was a little guy. And I just rolled the window down and did this the whole time. Boo!
I'm sure they appreciate it.
Boo! Because being a Buckeye and a Gator too, we hate Michigan. So all of you out there that love the University of Michigan, you can turn us off now because I'm going to boo to the rest of the show. But I will say this: beautiful campus, and it was like, I think it was like move-in week, so there were lots of like parents. It was a Friday morning, or Thursday morning, lots of parents and just people, a lot of life going on campus, and it's really pretty.
So George Gonzalez has an issue with Miami Springs Circle, the parking. Green areas need to be used for parking, landscaping to keep it fresh. Okay, George.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of parking. There's some like angle parking, I think, on the Circle. There isn't a lot of municipal parking. I've never really seen them let people park on the parkway other than for some special events. And because, that's where the big walking path is.
Do they still have flowers? They still have fireworks there?
They do. They actually did fireworks last year and this year.
On the golf course.
Mayor Bean insisted last year and said people could watch from their homes, but people still went to the golf course.
But everybody was spread out. People were spread out.
I don't know, because I did not go last year or this year. Typically, when there are fireworks, I come to the Gables. And, of course, Gables didn't do it the last 2 years. So this year, I went to New York for my niece's
you travel
birthday.
a lot. Okay.
Maybe 5 times since COVID. I've been to Arlington. I've been to Greensboro, Winston-Salem, New York. I've been out of the country. And obviously, I just went to Detroit.
All right. So let's talk about Labor Day. It's coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Did I write anything exciting about Labor Day? Like the origins of it?
What are we going to do? What are we doing Labor Day weekend?
I'm in town. So my niece and nephew are leaving for Turks and Caicos.
Oh, my God. That's me. I'm going to have you this weekend.
It's going to be very quiet. So the only things on the docket now are the following.
Okay. Tell us.
Friday, I'm going to go see a movie at the Art Cinema, like around 4:30.
We just did a story on them.
Yeah, they're wonderful. Saturday, I'll get up early and I'll work out. And then I've already organized my massage, because when I do 4 workouts in a week, I earn myself a massage. And my guy, Jimmy, who's amazing, will give me my massage. And then I'll probably hang out at the gym a little bit that morning, because I haven't done anything else at the gym. I haven't been in the pool. I haven't been in the sauna or the steam room. And then I'll probably have lunch there. So that's my plan.
Where's
I don't really
lunch?
have a lot.
Where they
have a lovely cafe.
Are you a gym rat?
I think so.
Wow.
I'm going to swim in the pool, so I'm taking my bathing suit and I'm doing all that. So I'll probably get there at 9. I'll get my massage and then I'll work out after, and then I'll use the steam room. And
what kind of bathing suit? A Speedo?
No, not at all. It's just like a regular trunk from our friends at Vineyard Vines. It's cute.
Okay, so
you want to come? If you get a massage, then you have access to the gym and the health club all.
Yeah, but the massage, you got to be a member.
No, that's available to the outside community. It's $100, I think, for members. I don't know what it is, but it's a full 60 minutes, and it's really good.
The problem with massage,
he cured me. Jimmy, by the way, remember I had done leg day, and I was dying on Saturday to the point where I struggled to get up and sit down.
Right.
And he cured me with an unbelievable technique and everything, and I was much better. I saw that Morgan was suggesting a couples massage. I mean, I am not opposed to it.
Wait, here's the problem with massage.
The problem is you fall asleep and you snore.
Exactly. I'll be asleep. I'll wake up. She get the person massage. Hey, I'm already asleep.
Do you always get a female?
No, I go both ways.
You go both ways. I thought that about you. You're very sus. You're like Howard. You're totally sus.
Oh, baby. Okay, so
that's my plan on Saturday. And then guess what happens on Saturday afternoon?
What?
The Gators play FAU.
Where?
You
got to be in the swamp.
I think in Gainesville, in the swamp. So my friend Allie is having a party, and she's invited me over.
Thank you, Allie. I'll be there.
Alicia, if you're listening, I know my response wasn't very nice, but I really meant to say yes. I'll see you.
Okay. Your good dear friends, Sarah and Mario.
Sarah and Mario.
Are they going to the game?
They are not. So they're going to stay.
How many times do they ever miss? They don't miss many games.
No, I mean, it's not games like that they don't miss, but they're concerned about full capacity crowds and the COVID numbers in Georgia, and they'll stay in Birmingham. Matter of fact, I checked on them yesterday to see what Ida,
the game's in Atlanta,
was doing. That is correct. That's at 3:30 if you want to watch Miami play. Atlanta, Miami play Alabama.
I had it all planned. My son's in Atlanta, but he's going to somewhere else that day. But I was planning to fly up the 8:00 flight, Atlanta 11, and come home that same night.
Yeah, because the game will be over by 7:30. You can take that late flight.
Yeah, but he's not going to be there.
What do you need him to be there for?
Because I'm not going to fly to Atlanta to see.
And not see him.
Yeah, I mean.
Or the girlfriend.
What?
or his lovely girlfriend.
Yes. All right. So Miami Spice, it's rocking.
Did I
and rolling.
finish my Toledo story? I didn't even tell you.
Oh, who interrupted you? I guess I did.
Probably both of us.
Okay.
So I get up there, have the rehearsal dinner. I married the couple.
Okay.
I became ordained to the Universal Life Church, and then I oversaw the ceremony.
Did you
It
speak?
was awesome.
Did you talk?
Of course, I officiated. I wrote a script. I walked them through their vows. I walked them through the ring exchange. It was really lovely. The only challenge was it was outdoors and it was 91 degrees. In Findlay, no, it was Ada, Ohio. Not to be confused with Ida. Ada, ADA, Ohio. So we drove from Detroit down to Toledo. That was a good hour 20. We drove from Toledo down to Findlay. That was 40 minutes. And then Findlay to Ada, like another 35 minutes. So I was all over Northeast Ohio. But you know what? It was great. I got to see a lot of members of our family and extended friends who I grew up with. Who
Okay. Were they wearing masks?
For the most part,
in Ohio,
they were not. But my nephew asked me to wear my mask, other than when it was just the three of us, because they needed a negative test to go to Turks and Caicos this week.
Did you?
So we wore our mask at the wedding. I wore it up until I got up for the ceremony, and then I took it off. I wore this mask, and I wore it today because the theme was sunflowers. And I wore this for my niece, Brittany, because she loves sunflowers, and she carried sunflowers as in her bouquet.
How beautiful.
She was so pretty. And so, I walked down with the groom before everybody.
Okay.
And I was just talking with him, and I'm like, breathe. We get up there, and of course everything's going, and the bridesmaids and the groomsmen come down. And then, he hadn't seen her all day, and he hadn't seen her in her dress. And he was very emotional. And I had given him, right before we went out, a brand new white handkerchief. And I said, this is for you to keep in your pocket for if you're sweaty, if you become emotional, and if your bride needs you to mop her brow. And he did beautifully. He's a good kid. His name's Evan Lewis.
Evan Lewis, we're proud of you.
He's a good kid. And I'll tell you something. It was very emotional for me. Because, my brother is deceased now, who is, her papa. And so, at the rehearsal dinner, it was her mom, myself, her dad, and her mom. But mostly, groomsmen and everything. And the father of the groom, we were getting something to drink. And he said, I just want to share with you that, you mean the world to Evan. Like, he's really bonded with you. And he really is, so, glad to know you. And you've just been really wonderful to him. And it was just a really nice thing. I didn't cry, but I was just like, first of all, no one ever has to go out of their way to say that. I don't know the father. I met him.
And you're not going to see ever again, probably.
I met him at the I met him at the rehearsal and saw him at the wedding. A guy named Rich, super nice, and his lovely wife Stephanie. And they were hosting us along with the bride and groom at their new home. They live next door to each other in Bradner, Ohio, right next door to each other. So that's kind of interesting, because I kept asking the bride and groom, I'm like, you guys live next door to each other. Yes, we know. But like right next door to each other. Like there's barely a strip of grass in between their homes. So anyway, it was really nice of him to say that. And, I just appreciate that. People go out of their way. And sometimes when you leave home and you go back home, because that's where I grew up until I was 14, you remember the things about there that were really special. And, Ohioans are pretty lovely people.
Absolutely.
Miamians can be tough. I love them too. But Ohioans, there's just something different. And here's my theory. They're full. They eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day. They're not afraid to be chunky. And they're hungry no more. So here everybody's hungry on a diet and trying to look their best. So, it can be a little bit harrowing.
So Morgan, Corey Gables Chamber writes, Grant, Mark could officiate your next wedding. I thought she was going to say she will officiate our wedding.
Oh, well, I think she might be a notary. Oh, no, she was looking for a notary next week.
Oh.
If you're a notary in Florida, you can't notarize something outside of Florida. So that's why I had to do the ordination, because I'd otherwise have to be a notary in Ohio. So.
All right, let's talk about Miami Spice.
Miami Spice is coming into its second month tomorrow. Some of the restaurants may change up their menus, so check it out. I'm planning a large group dinner at Eclectico later in September.
Which one's Eclectico?
That's the one in the shops at Merrick Park, right next to Yard House. But check them out. I've tried a bunch of the different spice menus. Most recently, at probably Cafe La Trova down in Little Havana. It was fantastic.
The
croquetas that they do. We should go there for lunch. I have a gift certificate. Why don't I take you there for lunch?
Are you inviting me?
We can eat up to $100 worth of food.
Oh, that's hard because there are all these little appetizers.
We just keep adding them up.
So,
but I'd be honored to officiate your next wedding. You've only been married once.
Eclectico is a big. They love your chamber.
We love them. We love Ramsey. We love Sawa. We love the shops at Merrick Park. So proud of everything they've done, and looking forward to a great fall. We used to do a fun event with them in the fall called Fashions Night Out, and it was really
with the whole mall.
Chamber and the shops and the mall. It was something created by Anna Wintour after 9/11. It was a way to get people back out and shopping when the economy was struggling, and it was really great to be with them. And it should be, I hope, something that we can continue. Other things that came out of 9/11, which, by the way, 20th anniversary is coming up in 10 days, 11 days.
So speak about Merritt Park. What's it called? Merritt Park?
Shops at Merritt Park.
I know that mall like the back of my hand.
Yes.
Not because I shop there. Is that my kids, when they're younger, their pediatrician was there.
Oh yeah, sure.
And Jaime Edelstein. And I walk that mall because I don't like sit. You get there and there's
you
all
don't
these
ever
sick,
sit.
No, there's all these sick kids in there. I go, no, we'll walk outside.
Yeah. No.
But that mall is a hidden treasure.
It's wonderful, and great brands that are there. We just did an event there back in June with 120% Lino, and we did an event with Tommy Bahama and Eclectico, and of course Timothy Alton, and our members loved it. It was an opportunity to be really outdoors, indoors a little bit. Numbers were better then. The spikes started coming shortly thereafter. So, get out and support your local retailers. They really need it. I was just with the Galliano Cigar Shop guys, Ozzy and
Tommy.
team,
That's your people.
And they just rejoined the chamber today. I was there meeting with the good folks of Coca-Cola, and I went in and I saw Ozzy. I said, "You avoiding me? Your membership?" And he goes, "Well," I go, "Give me your credit card."
Right there.
He handed me his credit card. I called the office. They took the credit card, and I said, "Run it."
How exciting.
Even the big guy is involved in sales every day. That's our 39th member, I think, for the month.
And what's your goal?
Well, our goal is always in the trustee space. So the number of members we like to get at least 18 to 20 a month. Because our goal over a year's time is to get 250 or so members. And so, when you add all that up, it adds up quickly. But, when you have months where last month we had 41, this month we're right at 39. The fiscal year closes today in just about 1 hour. So if you're thinking about joining, we'd love to have you join us before 5 o'clock today. We need you.
So speak about, before we get on to the events, new chairman took over?
She starts tomorrow. Anna Chowie, very excited. Her first
Can we get a round of applause for her?
First event is we have a small business committee meeting at 8, followed by a reconnect at noon, and Wind Down Wednesday in person, live at Craft on Giralda Plaza. That's at 5 p.m. I love it.
Is that for Wind Down Wednesday or that's for Anna?
Both.
Okay.
We're very excited to celebrate Anna Chowie and also say farewell to Brian Bearcat, which we did last week at our roast.
How was the roast?
It went very well. We probably had about 75 people there.
That's what you wanted.
We didn't want to be anything more than 100. And we were downstairs in the very large theater, so that held 600. So we were able to easily socially distance. And it went great. His friend Jordan really was the funny one. Drew was fun. The surprise of having his wife there was fun.
Drew's wife was there?
No, Brian's wife.
The
she
judge
was presiding. Yes, her.
Oh, that's
honor.
very funny.
Yeah, we did the trial of Brian Bearcat, and we found him guilty of all charges.
All right, so you have pushed back large events.
We have,
and it's perfect because September it looks like the numbers is going to drop.
Yeah, and so we're looking really into October. The biggest event we'll have in September is the Good Morning Coral Gables, which we're limiting to, basically 70% of the capacity. So we're still reducing capacity. We purposely went into the smaller ballroom so that we could also be a number. So that event could probably have about 160 at it. It's still pretty large, but we're encouraging people who are attending to wear their masks when not eating and when networking. And if you're not vaccinated, then please keep it on at all times.
Absolutely. For sure, you should have your 2 shots already. Some people
so.
starting their 3rd shot because it's timing. So I've already had my 3rd shot.
Yes.
And
how did it go, the 3rd one? Any reaction?
A little bump on my arm for a little bit.
Because like the first one I had a little soreness. The second one I didn't feel well for about a day. It wasn't anything terrible. I just needed a nap.
Tommy, did you have any side effects?
Just like a tender arm.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So
Tommy, you're kind of like a piece of veal. You're very tender.
Right. Tender-hearted.
September calendar. We got Reconnect
tomorrow, noon, virtual.
Okay. You got
Speaker is Elliot Durant.
Okay. WDW September 1st. What's that?
It's a Wind Down Wednesday. Down Wednesday.
She already told me
tomorrow
that.
night, 5 p.m.
And then the first round of committee meetings. That's exciting.
Yeah, this week we have 3. So tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., small business. I'll come there right after I finish my workout. Then that's followed by Thursday with the business women's business network at 8 a.m. I'm sorry, at 9 a.m. And at 8 a.m. is the ambassadors. So,
and this is one of the most exciting things you do, the book club.
I love our book club. I love working with Sarah Hernandez and First Citizens Bank.
She's a runner. I didn't know that.
We're not doing it on the 3rd. We're doing it on the 10th because the 3rd is leading into the holiday weekend.
Right.
And we know a lot of people take a shortcut for that day. So the following day, and that'll be following Friday, that'll be a hybrid event, up to 30 in person. We've already got 20 or so registered.
What's that for?
The rest can watch on Zoom.
Which meeting?
That's our book club.
So,
Master Mentors by Scott Jeffrey Miller.
Sarah
Hernandez
is a runner.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I do my walk on Saturday morning.
So you ran into her?
No, I was walking back and she just finished her 10-mile run.
She's in a new neighborhood,
Yeah, she's down south. She's
in Shenley Park.
Oh, but she ran from the Footworks that she was in that club.
Okay. She may have been training for something.
Yeah, she was.
But she and Roberto have moved into Shenley Park.
Shannon, where's that?
That is right by Miami Children's Hospital.
Oh, that's
Nicholas Children's
right.
Hospital.
That's a great neighborhood.
Great neighborhood and great leadership at the hospital and Matt Love and Perry Ann Reed. We're really proud of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen her lately.
No, I need to reach out to Perry Ann because she's been missing in action and I miss her.
Well, that's your buddy. All right, we got September 23rd.
Good Morning Coral Gables featuring Mayor Vince Lago and his State of the City Beautiful address. Really excited about that and looking forward to hosting him. And I've already gotten a little bit of a preview of what he's going to discuss, and it's going to be a great presentation. We also swear in our board of directors that day who sponsors the breakfast. All of them sponsor it.
Really? That's interesting.
Each of them donates $100, and that covers the sponsorship.
Well, when you see Mayor Lago, just remember he needs to work on his squats, and he works out in the gym. So when we see him,
I think he's pretty fit.
Oh,
I need to work on my squats, but it really is tough on the old legs, on the old sticks, bro.
Well, that's when you work out in the gym, you realize you have to work your legs.
Of course. And I hate leg day. Hated it.
So
tomorrow will be partly leg day because GTX incorporates the entire body.
I do 3 days a week legs. Other than walk every 3rd day, I do leg exercise.
Yeah, but you're worked out now, so you don't really get any discomfort or pain.
I get it every day.
You do? I mean, after that first week, a lot of the muscle ache and discomfort has subsided. So I'm blessed for that.
So we have also the Instagram. How's it coming?
We're kind of at a plateau, and we'll probably pick up with some of our promotions starting in September, October, probably something around our anniversary, our move-in anniversary, which is in September, our Chamber's 96th anniversary, which is in October, National Small Business Week, all kinds of things coming.
So you get some new trustees?
We have 4 for this month. Want to thank our newest of those 4, which is Corporate Caterers,
Who's
and
that?
they're a great catering company, and just rejoined as a trustee. They had been one, and then obviously COVID was really tough on that industry,
Oh, it's
and
brutal.
so they're back, and we love them. And then we got our trustee membership from Greenberg Trowbridge, so great to have them back.
Are they
too.
renewal?
They are a new, but they were a member at a time, but they had taken more than a year off, so it was a renewal.
And who's your contact?
Carlos Lago,
No relation?
relation, brother.
Really?
Jared Davis, no relation.
Jared? He's not related to you?
He's not. We're just both really tall.
He's Coconut Grove. A Grove Bank, right? Jared Davis?
Nope, Jared's with Greenberg Trowbridge.
Okay. All right.
He's their, I think, their managing partner or chief administrative partner.
So what's this first week of schools and books? What's that?
It's in the books. It's done. We're on to week 2.
For school?
We're keeping an eye on contact tracing and quarantining. And, it's hard to believe, but, school runs basically the equivalent of 36 weeks. And we're already 1 week down, only 35 to go.
I have to bring up the COVID issue. A friend of ours, we talked about, got COVID. And by the way, he does not know where he got it. None of his friends had it. So that means one of his friends was a carrier.
Oh, dear.
He found out he got it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, didn't feel good. He went and got his checked. He had it. He went to Tropical Park
Yeah.
the second day. He realized they gave him a shot in each shoulder, 2 shots in the stomach. I don't know what it's called, but it is I call it.
It's a miracle.
Right. And he felt after that, next day he felt great.
Wow.
So, if you feel it, go check on it. They have these medicines that make you stay a little healthy. But he had very little symptoms. All right. Everybody, you're going to get you got your 2 shots. I got my 3 shots.
I'm signing
Tommy,
for my booster. Thank you very much.
and Tommy
I'm already at the 6-month mark, and they're saying now you can do it at 6 months. So
Right.
thanks for that heads up.
Tommy already had his 3, and it's exciting. Chamber is moving fast, and then
We really are, and I'm really proud of the fact that our board listened to our recommendations. A lot of chambers have forged ahead, and then they get caught in the mix, and so they have to kind of step things back. I just saw that one of our chambers is postponing a major event from September, and I'm not surprised, but it is heartache because A, you're honoring some people, B, you've worked really hard to put the event together, and it doesn't diminish the amount of work. You're just going to have to do it again when you have a reschedule. So
Correct.
We had that happen with our annual conference and our George Merrick dinner.
But your conference is coming up in November, you said?
We know when the George Merrick dinner is. We know that for sure. The other one is still a little bit up in the air, the conference.
That's all. It just moves it back a little bit.
We're just moving forward.
understands.
And let me tell you, the upside to all of this is we're all talking to each other. We're all connecting with each other. We're all taking care of each other. Don't forget to do that. I mean, we're in a time right now where the space about mental health is really full of folks who are suffering. And so we saw it in the Olympics with a number of folks who really struggled. We saw it leading into the U.S. Open. So even people who you think have a charmed life, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes or what's happening in their families or their personal lives. So check in with somebody today. Reach out and check in with somebody.
So regarding the virus, they say a lot of things. Try to stay healthy.
Yes.
Try to exercise. Try to eat
Yes.
well. I don't do that well. Try to drink water, vitamin C. There's so many things. Doesn't mean you're not going to get it, but you'll be a little healthier.
Much more manageable case. That's what happened with me in May when I got sick with a breakthrough case. I certainly would be somebody unvaccinated who might be at higher risk, just being a little bit older, heavier. I'm blessed with having generally good health, but you have no idea. And I will say those 2 shots of Moderna
Saved your life.
saved my life because maybe I had a headache one day and a little bit of congestion for a few days, but nothing compared to what I have seen people suffer with. Just that story I told you about the guy with the gallbladder, which is a byproduct of COVID. Heartbreaking. We don't need that to happen. Get the shot, take care of yourself, take care of your family, wear your mask, social distance where appropriate, but most importantly, check in and take care of one another.
Pretty emotional there. This is emotional.
It is. I mean, when I talk about my brother and members of my family,
How long ago did he pass?
A little more than 3 years ago. But my niece, Brittany, her parents were really young when she was born. They were like 17 and 18. So my brother and sister-in-law really helped in the raising of her. And she's beautiful and talented. And, she went to school to study dental hygiene. And so she works in a dentist's office. Her now husband, Evan, has a background in cybersecurity. He went to 4-year university and graduated.
Which one?
4-year university. I don't know which one. It was in Michigan, I know. And he works for a big cybersecurity company or cyber company called Dana Corporation. I'm sorry, they're not a cybersecurity. He does their cybersecurity. They are an automotive parts, which is a huge industry in Northeast or Northwest Michigan, Northwest Ohio. So
I have to go. One more thing before we close out.
I think Morgan's saying that the cases in Miami-Dade were 5781.
Where is it?
At the bottom there.
No,
Remember I said it was a little more than 18,000 for Florida?
No, that's your Instagram.
Oh, sorry. It's not the COVID cases.
Okay, we have to close it
it's
out.
up from 5769. It's up by a dozen.
Okay. Before you close it out, let's talk about your mom.
Oh, heavens.
You haven't mentioned her in months.
Well, my mother and I really got into it when she accused me of telling you all to block her from this show.
Let's go. Mom.
I got really upset with her because, first of all, it didn't happen. And second of all, there was no basis for that.
Let's clarify some, Mom. If you could get down here, we'll do our own show.
She would be great. You only have to sit back and pull the string, and she'll fill an hour's worth of dialogue without a breath.
Does it run the family?
No. Skipped a generation. Love you, Mama Bear. My mother is Mary Lou Trowbridge. She's turning 84 in November. And, she's got some challenges, I think, with, the fact that my father died now 15, 16 years ago. And I know she still misses him terribly because, she was first and foremost wife and mother before she was a teacher and other things. So, and, she has bratty kids, specifically my sister. So, that's a thing. I'm an angel. Oh, speaking about bratty. Angels, speaking about bratty children, Michael Miller has entered the studio.
All right, let's close it out, Mark. It's a great day.
It is a great day. I can hardly believe that we're at the end of August, that we're at the end of our chamber fiscal year. Tomorrow, we turn the page. Anna Chowie joins us as our new chair of the board. We say, welcome, Anna, and thank you, Brian. Anytime someone steps forward and says, I will serve as a volunteer at the highest level of your organization, there are sacrifices they make. Sacrifices in their business, in their personal life, with their families. But Brian did even more time by spending an extra 3 or 4 months when we had an opening. I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of our members, the way you support our chamber, but most importantly, the way you support our community. So call someone today, reach out, check on them, make sure they're doing okay. It's a tough time, and we need to take care of one another. Have a great one, everybody.